nobody know what I know. They just listening to her stories and they running with it. Here's the thing. She goes all out her way with all these magnificent stories to elevate herself and to down or tear me down. Again, another narcissistic trait. You see, because here's the problem I got with all of this. Now, all these people around her, family, co-workers, which is all her friends, ain't nobody paying no attention to what has actually happened, nor what is going on here. See, because this is what I'm thinking about. When these people sitting around here call themselves looking sideways at me, looking at me like I'm the villain, she the damn hero. Well, remember I told you in part 2? Remember I told you about when I first met her, and I told you need to keep this in mind as we go on? Remember, I first met her. Everybody around me was telling me I shouldn't have nothing to do with her. Okay? They had all kind of negative stories about her, but I didn't hold nothing against her. Now, she had never even been to a nice restaurant. Okay? First time going to a nice restaurant was with me. Okay? Now, today, everybody speaks highly of her because she out here balling out, always at nice restaurants. I've heard numerous people at this point talk about how she always at nice restaurants. Well, where'd she get it from? She didn't know how to cook. The food, when I first met her, was awful. She couldn't cook. Family couldn't cook. She said, it's not me. And I taught her how to cook. But here we are. Everybody around her, friends and family, go crazy about her cooking. Well, where she learned how to cook at? She didn't know what it was to even have a decent car to drive. And I showed her how easy it was. And we went to the car lot and I put the down payment on the car. Paid the payment every month. Now she all of a sudden got this nice car to drive. She didn't know what it was to have a decent house to live in. Because how she grew up, according to her, they never had a nice house. You see? But she get with me and we get this apartment and I buy everything in this apartment and all of a sudden it's the nicest place she ever had, according to her. Now, she had jobs when we first met, but she never kept a job. It was always she worked a few weeks or a couple of months and she quit until I went to her and told her, hey, you need to have a steady income because if I'm not around, you need to be able to pay the bills and take care of yourself. That's when she got a stable job and worked on a regular basis. So at this point, we can honestly say that her whole life elevated just from being around me. Okay? Now, I go to prison. Now, while I'm in prison, what is she telling me? How bad she's doing because she's struggling. She's not making enough money on her job to cover all the bills and the living expenses. Okay, this go on until she gets a job with the state, which she's still at now. Now, when she gets the job with the state, that's considered a good job. Am I right? Most people I know at this point, anybody got a job working for the state, it's a good paying job, okay? If nothing else, they're able to live, pay their bills, pay their car payment, mortgage, what have you. They don't have no money problems. Now, with her, even after she got this job, remember I had to send her money from prison? And when she gets this money, she said she didn't even have gas money to get to work the rest of the week. But you got a job working for the state. But it didn't stop there, see, because during this time, I had talked to some of her family members. And the family members was talking bad about how bad she was doing. And she got this job working for the state. They told me that my daughter didn't even have shoes that fit. later on, she was telling me a story how, again, after she got this job working for the state, there was times that she did not have food for her and my daughter to eat. They was eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner. Soon as I'm back, she ain't got none of them problems no more. Ain't nobody paid that no attention. Family knew how she was living. Some of her friends knew she was going through a bad financial struggle even though she had this job working for the state. Nobody paying that no attention. Soon as I'm out, no more of them problems. A year of me being back. All of a sudden, she graduated. All of a sudden, she's making 6 figures a year. Nobody's paying no attention that this didn't happen until I'm back. You see, because they don't know about the conversation me and her had the months before she was talking about quitting school again, and me and her had this talk. And she changed her whole mind about quitting and went on and finished school, graduated, got a degree. See, because I'm not talking about it. I'm not telling nobody this, and she ain't acknowledging. They ain't paying attention. She been going to school for 12 years, and all of a sudden, she got her degree now that I'm back. Nobody paying that no attention. This is the thing that's bothering me, because she's elevating herself and she tearing me down. The very person who done elevated her life every time I've been around. You think about that. Every time I'm around, her life gets better. But here it is, she's stabbing me in the back, bad mouthing me to everybody, painting this picture to everybody. I'm some no good, low down so-and-so. But she wouldn't even be where she at if it was not for me when you start really analyzing the situation. And the thing of it is that this thing is so bad because I remember one time I was having a conversation with one of her family members and we was talking about what she had when I came back. And in their mind, they actually thought she had the house, she had her degree, she was making $100,000 already. But no, none of that happened. Ty come back. Think about it. Look, I'm gone 7.5 years. She had been going to school from the time we met. If she was going to get a degree, she would have done it in them 7.5 years. Am I right? She would have done it, especially just a 2-year degree in 12 years. She would have done it in the 7.5 years I was gone. So it's not a coincidence that as soon as I get back, she got her degree. You know, it's just crazy to me because while I'm going through this again, I don't know I'm dealing with some narcissistic person, you know. All I'm looking at is this fool is crazy. But at the same time, I'm still saying she ain't too crazy to be able to understand that she wouldn't have got nowhere without me being there.